can't hold back the sun. Where I run when I come undone. Oh, sanctuary. Your love is, yes, love is the only shelter I need. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're my refuge, my place of peace.
Rural Rhythm has brought back our favorite classic bluegrass songs in the new Bluegrass Power Pick series, available at Amazon. Search Bluegrass Power Picks on Amazon and choose from the many collection titles containing the legends and pioneers of bluegrass music. Each collection title contains 25 to 30 classic bluegrass songs like these. Here's Don Reno and Bill Harrell,
Oh, the 9-pound hammer.
Red Smiley, Mac Wiseman,
Well, I'm sitting on top of the world.
Earl Taylor and Jim
Over
McCall,
yonder stands little Maggie.
Ilo Brown,
When John Henry was a little bitty boy.
Reno and Smiley, Vassar Clemens, Tater Tate, Jim Eanes, and many more. Available at Amazon, these vintage bluegrass collection titles are from the original masters and includes the best of Rural Rhythm's original recordings from the heyday of bluegrass music. Go to Amazon and search Bluegrass Power Picks to see all the titles available and enjoy our sound traditions from America's heartland on Rural Rhythm Records.
Hey everybody, welcome to Center Stage Live at the 615 Hideaway. We are here with Zach Neal and I am your host, Missy Wolf. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I am so glad that you're here.
It's good to be here.
And it's beautiful weather today.
Finally.
Finally, right? Because we've had a bit of some cold weather. So how has that been for you?
Well, I'm enjoying the weather here. We were out of town this past weekend playing some shows where it was negative temperatures.
Yeah.
So it's feeling pretty good here today.
I know you've been a pretty busy bee. You've been playing all over the place. You've had some sold out shows. What is that moment like for you when you have that sold out moment and you know you're playing to a packed house?
Oh, just when you're playing music, that's what you want to do. That's what you want. You want to go out and you want people to show up. Of course, not fun to play to an empty room.
Right.
I've played those before in a lot of bars, but it's a great feeling, and it's great. I'm at a point now where you start to see some of the same people coming.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. That's
Right.
really cool to know that people are liking you to come see you more than once.
Right, exactly. Well, and you have a pretty good fan base, and they're so loyal, and they connect with you on Facebook all the time. I'm constantly seeing them message you or, comments and positive things. Like I saw one where they were just so excited. They were listening to their CD of yours all the way home from their performance that they got to see you at. Those types of comments to me would just make me feel amazing. Does that do that for you? 'Cause
Of course, when you put music out, and it's you make music the way you think you know how to make it, and it's an extension of you. You obviously hope people like it. When they don't like it, it's not for everybody. You can't please everybody, but
Right.
but when you get that kind of feedback that what you're doing is touching people. You get to hear really neat stories. Some are really happy stories. Some are really sad stories.
Yeah.
But somehow, when your music touches people's lives, that's really kind of what matters at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah. Are there any moments that have stood out to you as far as stories go where a fan has come up to you and shared one with you?
Yeah, there have been several. I did a thing last year in Ohio. We played the Ohio. It was a pork festival. It was it's like one of the biggest festivals in Ohio. It was really cool. And we played like 3 songs, and there was a guy in the front row, and he just started crying. And it was kind of not a sad song. So I was up there going, you just go,
Right.
man, this is kind of strange, But I talked to him afterwards, and I don't want to go into all the details,
Right.
but basically he had lost somebody pretty close to him.
Oh.
And it was someone that song that we happened to play, it was a cover song. We do a lot of my original songs, but it happened to be a cover song. That was their favorite song. And it just hit him.
Right.
And it was still kind of the pain of losing someone had been real raw still, was still
Right.
raw. And, you know, but he was crying, but he said he was happy. It just brought back good memories.
Well, that's a great moment to have. And I'm sure for the fan, I mean, that was one of those moments where they probably felt the presence of the loved one that they were, you know, missing. I mean, that's like pretty vivid sign there to me. I'm into that, you know. I like to experience life in that way and look for those, you know, signs and those little things that people mostly ignore. And you know, I mean, they're kind of everywhere. And when you look at something and it makes you, you know, think of someone else, it's pretty amazing, and it puts a smile on my face when it happens for me. So I think that's great. I'm glad you shared that with everybody. What have you got going on? Because you're super busy, and I know that when you're not playing, I saw that you like to do a lot of songwriting. So have you had a lot of those sessions lately?
Yes, we are in the middle of working on a new project. I'm actually going back into the studio tomorrow night to finish the vocals. I'm excited. We've got 2 songs left to do vocals on. And then, you know, we'll be, over the next few weeks, be mixing and all the stuff that goes into that.
Right.
But, yeah, really excited to get that out. Trying to squeeze it in between playing shows. But we're getting there. I think we got some great songs. We got, it's turning out great. I'm really thrilled with how it's turning out this time. And, I'm excited to get it done so we can go play them for people.
I love that. Do you have an anticipated release date for it, or is it just going to be like sometimes in the next few months?
It's probably going to be in March.
Oh, okay.
Probably late March is kind of the goal.
Nice.
Just to make sure we get everything, cross our T's, dot our I's,
yes.
And, you know, and I like to live with the project once I get it kind of done. I like to live with it a little bit and make sure nothing's bugging me and before putting it out there.
Right. Well, and you never know, because there's always that one pesky song. You think you're done with your album, and there's that other song, and you're just like, I have to put that on. And I've heard it so many times from artists where they think they're done with an album, and then they hear 1 more song, or 2 more songs, or 3 more, and then they're like, oh gosh, I have to narrow this down or add them all. And so, are you open to that if you find any more?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And to that point, I heard a guy on the last project I did when we were mastering the project. You know, because everybody's their own worst critic. I'm my own worst critic, and I said, I don't know if that sounds quite right, you know. Yeah. And the guy said, man, it sounds great. He said, you got to remember, albums are never finished. You just got to let them go.
Oh, that's
and I said, that's probably the best way to keep my sanity and look at it.
Well, and here's the other thing. I mean, even when you're doing a show, there are artists that I've seen where they're putting on a great show and the fans are loving it, and then backstage they're like, man, that was terrible. I did this wrong and that wrong. Okay, but your fans didn't notice that. So the same thing. Your fans don't know what you're planning on putting on an album. They don't know what your vision was. So if they enjoy it, even if it's not exactly what you wanted, go with the fact that they're enjoying it, and then just move on to the next one, you know? So what, who cares what's next? Like that's how I live.
Absolutely.
I try.
Absolutely.
But okay, so you have your guitar with you. Are you ready to play some songs for us? Because I'm sure the fans at home want to listen.
Yes. I'll start with a song that's the title of my last album. It's called Horses to Ride. And I wrote this with a guy named Tony Ramey and Jeff Sylvie, both great songwriters and artists too. So, but it goes a little something like this. I grew up believing hard work would get you through, so I always had something I thought I had to do. All she ever wanted was me there to hold her, but all I did was tell her over and over, I got horses to ride. Fences to mend, I gotta make up for lost time before one more day ends. I see that sun setting and it all starts sinking in, that I've got horses to ride and fences to mend. Man, I sure did miss it, and I sure do miss her now.
as the echoes of my empty words go running through this house. And I'm praying it ain't too late, and hoping she'll forgive me. I know just what I gotta do. Thank God it finally hit me. I got horses to ride and fences to mend. I gotta make up for lost time before one more day ends. I see that sun setting and it all starts sinking in. Yeah, that I got horses to ride and fences to mend. Hey, there's a long trail of dust. Man, she might be too far gone, but I'll do what I can to bring her home. And I've got horses to ride and fences to mend. I gotta make up for lost time before one more day ends. I see that sun setting and it all starts sinking in. Yeah, that I've got horses to ride and fences to mend. Well, I've got horses to ride and fences to mend.
Okay, everybody at home knows I clap. I have to. I can't not clap. That's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
So I have to tell you, when I first heard that, I wasn't sure if you said fences to mend at first. And I'm singing it to myself as faces to melt. And I'm like, that is absolutely not what he's saying.
Well, you know, when you go out and put on a live show, that's what we call it, you know,
right?
melting faces.
Well, yeah,
you know?
But so everybody at home, I'm sorry, this is a Missy moment. But you know, we all have those moments with lyrics where you hear something and you're like, wait a minute, what did they sing? So I was playing it on my Alexa, so I had to like go back and actually listen to it because I was down the hall. But I was like, that is not what he's saying. So no, I'm glad you actually sang that one. It kind of made me laugh because I was like, I didn't know if I was going to bring that up to you or not today, but I had to. I have to be real with everybody. So I have to know, what else have you been doing as far as like with your shows? And I know you're not from Nashville, right? Like
not.
So you take your show on the road, but when did you like actually come out here? When did you decide that you wanted to make the move to Nashville?
Boy, I was in high school, and it's kind of a long story. I'm going to try to condense
Well, then
it.
I'm glad I asked.
But basically, I did a Battle of the Bands competition with my band in high school.
Okay.
And one of the judges was somebody from my hometown who'd gone on to do pretty good things in the music world, in the rock world, not in the country field. He was out in, I think in L.A. No, Vancouver, Canada,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And he'd come home to be a judge, and he'd been engineering these big rock albums. And afterwards, he said, hey, have you ever thought about, moving to Nashville? And I was like, well, I'm from the middle of nowhere. You go, oh, that's a great idea, but no. I was going to farm. That's what I wanted to be. I grew up on a farm. My grandfather started it. My dad was farming. I thought that's what I was going to do. And he goes, I think you need to go to Nashville. And he introduced me to some people that he knew here. And I kind of moved here, and within about an hour and a half, I was I'm moving. This
Yep.
place is incredible,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me when I stepped off the plane in Nashville for the first time. I was like, I called everybody at home and I was like, I'm moving here. Mm-hmm. Within 2 months, I was here. Like it felt like home for me. So, but I knew that in researching you that you were not from here. So making the decision to move, I know it's always tough for a lot of people to make that decision to move away from home, everything that they've known, everything that they thought they wanted, to pursue this. So I'm going to ask, are you happy with that decision?
Very happy.
Yeah.
Yes, my life's, I'm very grateful. I get to play music for a living, That was kind of the goal. So,
Yeah.
So far so good.
Are there any venues that have been your favorite to perform at?
Oh, there's, Yeah, there's a lot of them that are a lot of fun. You know, I got to say, probably overall, one of the most fun things we get to do is when you play these fairs and festivals. Yeah. It's just a different kind of atmosphere, you know, and it's just a lot of fun. It's sometimes really hot, which isn't quite as fun. Sometimes you're kind of getting roasted out there.
Right.
You know, it's 95, 100 degrees out there, and you're just sweating buckets before you even play a note. But, you know, we just love, you know, I'm just happy to be playing anywhere, to be honest. I mean, I know it probably sounds cheesy, but but the thing is that, you know, you're always trying to make new fans, win people over and meet new people. And so as long as you can keep kind of doing that.
Right. Now, when you do the festivals, are you able to connect with fans like you want? Because I know, you know, we've covered Stagecoach, and the artists there don't seem to have the ability to connect with the fans the way that they want to. We've seen it time and time again. So have you been able to have success with that at your festivals?
Well, I think one of the things that you love doing is getting to meet them afterwards. You know, that seems to be, I do, and I love meeting people afterwards because, as we touched on earlier, you hear they tell you stories. Yeah. And you know, and you get to learn. You get to learn things, and now as a songwriter, that's where the songwriter side kicks in. Because as you're listening to these stories, you start going, "Oh, that's really there's a song."
There's a song there.
I'm going to write that down in my little idea book, and you know, see if we can't write something like that. So, you know, I enjoy meeting people. So yeah, I mean, that's if you don't enjoy meeting people, this isn't a good
probably not
to be in. But yeah, so. Kind of come back to your question. Yeah, I love, you know, I think we connect pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Well,
at least I do give it everything I can on my end.
There you go. Well, we're glad you're here. So you got another song for us? I could keep you here all day playing.
Okay.
All right.
This song is going to be on the new project.
Ooh.
This is one that I got to do the vocal tomorrow on this right here.
Okay.
So this will be a good practice run.
There you go.
For me.
Glad we could help.
So this is, I wrote this with a guy named Dustin Herring, and talking about previous relationships and over the years, and I kind of had this little chorus idea melodically down, and we just kind of sat there singing it, and then I kind of had this idea called "Rollin Mississippi" is the name of the song, and well, you'll see. Roll on, Mississippi, Mississippi, roll on. There's no change in your direction, been that way too long. I know you gotta go, girl, you're already gone. So roll on, Mississippi, roll on. She was drifting through Memphis on a Blues Fest night when she pulled me in on Beale Street with her deep brown eyes. And I jumped right in and got carried away. But no matter how you hold her, you can't get her to stay. Roll on, Mississippi, Mississippi, roll on. There's no change in your direction, been that way too long. I know you gotta go, girl, you're already gone. So roll on, Mississippi, roll on. Her mama's down in Vicksburg, she could wind up there, playing a beat in that black dirt way down where that Dutchess breeze blows through magnolia trees. That might be all she needs to say, sail and leave. Roll on, Mississippi, Mississippi, roll on. There's no change in your direction, been that way too long. I know you've gotta go, girl, you're already gone. So roll on, Mississippi, roll on, Mississippi, Mississippi, roll on. There's no change in your direction, been that way too long. I know you gotta go, girl, you're already gone. So roll on, Mississippi, roll on. Roll on, Mississippi, roll on.
Okay, did I hear a little bit of a George Strait influence in that?
You probably did. He's definitely an influence. Absolutely, yeah.
I'm like, you started singing, I was like, huh, sounds a little like a George Strait song to me. I really like that. But
Well, it'd be great if he'd cut that, you know.
right, George, if you're watching, I mean, we know that you just released a new album or you're going to, but you know, your next project.
I'm okay with it.
Right?
I'd really be okay with it.
I figured you might be. No, honestly, your vocals are really smooth. They're really great. And I know it's a lot of what people are craving. The traditional country, the 90s country, if you will. We call it traditional country, but there's a huge place for it right now in the world. Everybody wants it and everybody is searching for it. So I'm glad that you're coming out with that and cutting the vocals on that tomorrow. We need that like now.
Go as fast as I can.
I'm just saying, hey, we at least got the video for you guys at home. You can, rewind and play that video back. So no, I love that. How long did it take you to create this song, to write this song?
That song happened really fast.
Did it?
That chorus just kind of fell out really quickly. I mean, I think we wrote it in maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Some songs are like that. It's always nice when those are the songs, when it happens that quickly.
Right.
But that one happened really fast, just kind of, I can't tell you how you write songs really. I mean, it's
well, it's different for everybody from what I hear.
It's different for everybody, but that just clicked that day.
Right,
Yep.
right. And we often hear that as well, that those songs just come really fast, come out of nowhere, and you got to be prepared and just write it down then, because otherwise, if you miss it, that it's not coming back. Like, So you got to be prepared and actually take the time. But I love that, and I love hearing every songwriter talk about what inspires them and how they go about it. Do you have any routines before you do, like, go into a song, right? Is there anything that you like?
Probably
like
the
a
only
ritual
thing
that you have?
I think the only thing routine-wise is you just try to show up with a few ideas. I usually try to, I've got, now it's my iPhone, but, I've got a whole bunch of ideas in the phone. And you write them down and you just kind of go through them and try to figure out, what do I feel like writing? What's really kind of grabbing me?
Right.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. Sometimes you sit there for 3 hours and don't get anything.
Right.
And it's just been like a little, 3-hour chat, or you're looking at each other going, that's not going to work. That's not gonna work.
Right. Well, hey, maybe in those 3-hour chats, you actually make some other connections though, and get the juices flowing for next time. It's not for nothing. But so you have more songs for us, and I'm so excited, but I have to tell you that we have fans that have asked questions.
Okay.
So are you okay if we answer a few questions right now from some fans?
Yeah, absolutely.
And fans at home watching, if you didn't know that you could ask questions, I should have told you in the very beginning. I'm sorry. We will get to more fan questions after the next song, but for now, we do have a few fan questions, so we're going to do those now. Angie, what do you got?
Okay, I have quite a few. I have one that's really got my brain spinning here. It's I'm a hardcore baseball fan. So this one says, did you have a favorite song you would listen to before baseball games?
I don't know that I've never thought about it. No, I don't think I really did. I'm kind of weird, I guess. I grew up playing a lot of sports, and Glen Campbell. I always, I don't know why. A lot of guys like to listen to rock or something. Get them pumped up. Glen Campbell was always kind of a go-to, artist for me. I don't know why. There was something about Glen Campbell. I mean, he was, of course,
good.
Because he was amazing. Of course, he was amazing. But there's just something about his, his version of "Gentle on My Mind." I don't know. I just kind of feels good.
Yes.
He just gets you in a good place,
Okay. Are you going to be attending CRS next week?
No, I will not, because I'm going to be out of town next week, traveling, playing gigs. Otherwise, I would gladly be at CRS.
Right.
But I will not be there, unfortunately.
So, what about the CMA Fest?
CMA Fest, yes, we're working on that now.
Okay.
Working on locking some stuff in for that now.
We'll be
Yes.
we'll be looking for you.
We'll definitely be looking for you.
We will be stalking.
Yes.
we will find you. Okay. Valentine's Day is coming up. So, what is your favorite country love song?
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
good question.
Wow, that is a great question. There's a whole lot of good ones to pick from. you know, I'm a big Merle Haggard fan, and so if I had to pick one, maybe The Way Love Goes, probably.
Ooh, nice
All right.
one. So, your country artist, who inspired you the most growing up? What was your
Yes.
go-to guy?
Randy Travis.
Oh yeah.
Randy Travis, growing up, man, he was, still. Of course, George Strait, as we talked about earlier, I think, and Garth. You know, I grew up in the era of Garth, so no question there. But what was really cool, and like the Mark Chestnut, Mark Chestnut.
Yes.
What was really cool, though, when I got into those guys and really started getting into music, I heard these guys talk about Merle Haggard and, you know, George Jones, and I'd heard some of that stuff growing up. My dad liked Ray Price, so I heard some country music of the George Joneses and the Merle Haggards, but I started to dive into it a lot more when I heard that the guys I really liked, that's what their influence was, and I thought, well, if that's who influenced them, I guess I need to find out who that is.
Right.
And then, you know, when I really got into Merle Haggard, I just went, oh, this is it. Merle was kind of it for me. He still is, but just
understandable. Other than farming, is there anything else that you wanted to do with your life other than farming and singing?
No, you know, where I grew up, it's farm country. It's just farm country, and that's pretty much what you do. That's what everybody does, and that's just the life that I knew. That's what I grew up knowing and learning, and yeah, I was going to go to college for you know, get an ag degree and then go from there, and then life just kind of took me a different direction, and you know, to this, which I always loved music, but no, that was it. Farming was what I planned on doing.
Now, did your family still have a farm?
Yeah, they've actually just retired. They just retired here, but yeah, they've still got the land and stuff, and they share a crop a little bit, and yeah.
So have they been to your shows?
Oh yes, yep, yeah. My parents. I've been fortunate. My parents have supported me pretty much from the beginning. I think they saw it was something I wanted really badly, something I had a passion for, and they just said, "All right, we'll go for it." You know.
Good job, Mom and Dad, for supporting him. And he's going to sing more songs for us, guys. But before he does, you can submit more questions. I promise we'll get to them. Okay, so don't be afraid. Send those questions in, and we will get them answered for you. But for now, he's going to play another song for you.
Okay. You know, I'm going to do this song. I hadn't planned on doing this one, but we were talking about influences, and so this feels like a good time to do this one right here. You know, of course, as a kid, like a lot of young kids, I guess, you know, I grew up loving cowboys and cowboy movies, you know, and for me it was Clint Eastwood, you know, and so I wrote this song kind of as a little tribute to cowboys. This is kind of my cowboy song, at least my attempt at it. It's called "Long Live the Cowboy." Wouldn't be no fences, wouldn't be no dusty trails, no singing songs by the fireside, wouldn't be no silhouettes up against a red sunset, riding away in a western sky. I can almost hear that coyote cry. Long live the cowboy, lonesome dove out on the plain. Long live the cowboy, proof that some hearts never change. Long live the cowboy. Wouldn't be no outlaws, no long gun with a lost cause, shooting it out on a
silver screen. Wouldn't mean no tough guys, no true grit, no stubborn pride, shooting straight and no loyalty. None of us would know what freedom really means. Long live the cowboy, lonesome dove out on the plains. Long live the cowboy, proof that some hearts never change. Long live the cowboy, we're all just drifters by and by. Hey, all those heroes never die. Long live the cowboy, lonesome dove out on the plains. Long live the cowboy, proof that some hearts never change. Long live the cowboy. Here's to the cowboy. Long live the cowboy.
Yes, long live the cowboy. We have to have more cowboys in our life, I'm just saying. They're all pretty great. Back to the Garth Brooks and the George Strait, influences. Do you have a specific song that you like of each of theirs? Because I have my go-tos, and I'm curious as to what yours are.
Absolutely. If it's George Strait, my favorite is "I Can Still Make Cheyenne," cowboy song. There ain't a single thing I don't care that I don't like about that song. I just love that song. And then for Garth, it's "What's She Doing Now?" What She's Doing Now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I heard
That one always
Prayers.
just gets
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
and that Garth songs, I mean, they have a tendency to do that. He's got so many that'll just drop you to your knees, I mean, that's how I feel about it. But Unanswered Prayers was one of those, and I heard that one today, and I thought, man, it really is true when you go back and look at those lyrics. So for you, in your songwriting, have you been able to, like, where you are now, look back at some of the songs you've written and been like, wow, I'm so glad I wrote that song. Like, it's really just meant something to you personally?
Yeah, I've written a lot of songs that I haven't recorded just because they almost are so personal that, you kind of keep those, like to keep those to yourself sometimes. But one of my favorite songs that really struck a chord with me is one I didn't write. One of my favorites that I've recorded. It was written by a couple of great songwriters here in town, big name songwriters, and they were kind enough to let me record this song, and it's going back to farming, and that's what hits home with me. It really speaks to that culture. Right. And kind of what's going on in that world in this day and age. And, I mean, it's always been a tough business to be in, but I think it's just like a lot of businesses, it's getting even harder. But so I recorded a song called "The Last Dirt Road." That's like I said, I didn't write it. I really wish I had, because I feel when I heard it, I thought, oh man, that's that's people I know. Yeah. Those are the people I know right there.
But that's how you know you chose a great song, because you connected to it on a level that maybe somebody else wouldn't have. So I think, for songwriters too, it's a compliment to them to have moved you to the point where you wanted to record it. So I'm sure that the pairing of you guys all together is just a really great one, and I'm sure that they appreciate it just as much as you do. So yay, guys, thanks for letting him, record this song.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what do you have next? I don't want to keep you from the fans. I know they're here to watch you, not me.
Okay. Well, I'll do that song then, if that's
Okay.
yeah. Let's do that song.
All right.
capo on here. Yeah, it's called The Last Dirt Road, and hope you like it. You can hear the big machines echo through the trees. Can't hear the crickets chirping anymore. You can smell the blacktop burning and the wheels of progress turning. If the county has its way, they'll pave right through his front door. Living on the last dirt road, the only life he's ever known. Sweet honeysuckle grows round a family field of stone, where the roots run deep and a river flows in peace. He's the last man standing at his own Alamo. He'll die living on the last dirt road. All the town folks say he's crazy, but there ain't no ifs or maybes. He ain't signing no papers with no banker's fancy pen, 'cause he built that barn from nothing with his Uncle Joe and couple cousins. That land belonged to his granddad and his granddad before him. Living on the last dirt road, the only life he's ever known. Sweet honeysuckle grows round a family field of stone, where the roots run deep and a river flows in peace. He's the last man standing at his own Alamo. He'll die living on the last dirt road. Have to put him in the ground before they put that road where his daddy plowed. Living on the last dirt road, the only life he's ever known. Sweet honeysuckle grows around a family field of stone, where the roots run deep and that old river flows in peace. He's the last man standing at his own Alamo. He'll die living on the last dirt road. Living on the last dirt road.
Absolutely love it. I'm glad you chose that song.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Now, is there a song that your fans love to hear you sing?
Yeah, they tell me they love it. Yeah, there's actually one. I think I did it earlier, but you know, hopefully they have more than just one.
I'm sure they do, but like when you're performing live, there's always that one song that gets the crowd just completely energized.
Yes. Yep, and I'll do it for you now.
Right.
You know what? I'll tune my guitar first so I'm not hurting everybody's ears too badly out there. You know.
The fact that you recognize that though is great, because you don't know how many times we're all like out in the bars, you know, listening to live music, and some of the artists, they don't tune their guitars, and we're just kind of cringing a little here or there, and I'm sorry. I love everybody, and I you know, but it does happen quite a bit.
Yeah, so. It does happen, yeah. You know, sometimes live, sometimes there's things that are out of your control, and stuff happens, you know. But yeah, this one here, this will be on the new album. So, and it's called When She Drinks Whiskey. So it's country music, gotta have a whiskey song every now and then, you know.
Yes, you do.
She's the life of the party, most every night. If she drinks tequila, everything's fine. She'll be out there dancing, throwing them back. But if you catch her in the corner, sipping on Jack, you know her heart is hurting real bad. But she drinks whiskey, you know she's lonely. She's tired of wasting good love like hers on the liars and leavers and the no-good heart stealers. Why can't we see how much she's worth? Burns when it goes down, she don't like the taste, but she hates hurting, and it numbs the pain. So leave her alone and give her some space. But she drinks whiskey, you know she's lonely. She's tired of wasting good love like hers on the liars and leavers and the no-good heart stealers. Why can't they see how much she's worth? She drinks whiskey, you know she's lonely. She's tired of wasting good love like hers on the liars and leavers and the no-good heart stealers. Why can't they see how much she's worth? But she drinks whiskey, yeah, you know she's lonely. She's tired of wasting good love like hers on the liars and leavers and the no-good heart stealers. Why can't they see how much she's worth?
Those lyrics are brilliant. I just have to say, because there is definitely a difference when you drink one versus the other.
Yes.
There is. And I think most of us have experienced that along the way, either yourself or somebody that you know that you go out with. So
I think a lot of people can relate to that one.
I definitely agree. I definitely think that that's true. So if you guys couldn't tell, I can relate. but no, it's perfect though. You're capturing real life, and whether it's ugly or it's pretty or it's questionable, I mean, that's what music is about. It captures everything that goes on. And it gives us an outlet. It gives us a place that we can go when we need to feel, or when we're feeling too much and we want to feel a little less. There's always that place that we can go to. And for me, music is definitely is it always country music for you, or do you have other influences that you like?
I've got a lot of influences outside of country, and a lot of people are usually surprised to find out that
That's why I'm asking.
all that old classic rock, and
Right.
you know the Sammy Hagars and the Van Halen. I do. I love good music, and I love music that kind of is interesting. I like interesting stuff that kind of makes you kind of go, oh, that's really cool. This kind of sounds different,
Right.
And Frank Sinatra. I played trombone in a high school band. I was a trombone player.
That.
Yes, I was a trombone player.
Okay.
And so that began my love of like big band type stuff, because playing trombone, so like Frank Sinatra and all that big band type stuff, Tony Bennett, all I've got a lot of influences that aren't country. But you don't want to hear me try and sing anything classic rock.
Right.
I'm not suited for that. I like listening to it, but I'm not suited. I'm not the guy that you want to hear doing it.
Right. Okay.
It.
Have you ever sang really loudly in the car though, like to Queen, like Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff like that?
Well, who hasn't sung
Yeah,
Bohemian
right.
Rhapsody?
I mean, that's why I shouted that one out, because that's another one where I got caught singing that one by my mother, and it was not pretty. I was just cleaning dishes in the kitchen, but those are the songs that, I mean, they're timeless, and everybody, I mean, my kids are listening to it now, and it's just great. But I love hearing your other influences, because I think sometimes fans put you in a box. They think you're a country artist, you listen to country, that's who you are. And when they find out you've listened to some heavy metal or some classic rock, hard rock, they're like, whoa. So, and I wanted to know who your influences were outside of country, because honestly, I mean, music just goes everywhere. There's no beginning, no end to me. It's just, every walk of life, music appeals to, you know, in some form or another. And I know that I've been in town and I've seen a lot of different acts, a lot of different artists come through. And I know that in March, there's a group called Steel Panther that's going to be coming through. And you'll be amazed at how many artists here in Nashville go to that show and are friends with these guys and sing these amazing, wonderful songs. And it's fantastic to watch. And I'm an observer. I love that. So do you have bands like that too that you love that people would just be floored by?
Probably one of them that might floor, as far as somebody who's real kind of current, I guess, would be like Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
I think Bruno Mars is I love it, you know. It's just, and, you know, most people probably wouldn't guess that about me.
No, see, and that's why I like to ask those questions, because you really get to connect with your fans, you know, when you're doing these types of events or I don't know, live show, what we're doing here. But it gives the fans a chance to get to know you a little bit more as a person, not just a musical artist. So bands, do you have more questions? Angie, do we have any more questions?
I have a comment here.
Okay.
This person named
Let's turn on your mic.
Turn on my mic. This person named Diana, she says she is enjoying listening to the artist talk.
See,
Okay.
that's good.
She's loving hearing about you.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you.
Well, Diana, if you have a question, send it and he will answer it for you when we
Yes.
get back. But first, he's going to sing another song for
All
us.
right. You know, I'm kind of calling an audible on myself here. I'm gonna do a song we actually wrote this for a girl. Kind of mix it up a little bit here. Why not? You know, yeah. I hadn't really planned on doing that, but I always loved this song. We wrote this maybe 6-7 months ago, and actually, we didn't start out to write it for a girl. I'll talk a little bit, if that's okay, kind of about the song. And the guy that I wrote it with, his name's Tom Botkin. Fantastic songwriter here in town. Wrote a lot of hits you may have probably heard. And I had this idea. I did the Rollin Mississippi song earlier. I told Tom, I said, you don't hear songs about places as much anymore. You know, there was a time in country music, you know, of course, the Amarillo by Mornings, and you know, how many times you hear Cheyenne or Denver or something like that mentioned in songs. And I said, you don't hear a lot of songs like that anymore. And I said, I always like those kinds of songs because it takes me somewhere. And so I had this, I was like, I told Tom, I said, the state of Montana is just beautiful. It's just, you know, and I said, what if we write a song about Montana that's actually about a girl? And he says, yeah, that's great. Well, yeah, I like that idea. So we kind of started playing this little melodic kind of thing, and we wrote the whole song. Got done, thought, this is really good. This is really good. Got home that night. Tom called me. He goes, hey, we got to rewrite that song. I said, what? I said, man, I thought we loved it. He goes, I do love it. He says, we've got to change it. We got the wrong state. I said, the wrong state? And there was a reason why. He had a reason for it, and I won't go into that, but it worked out really good. And he said, let's change the name of that song to Alabama instead of Montana. And I said, okay. My wife's from Alabama. So I said, okay. Still, I was like, it's supposed to be a girl singing it, you know. Yeah. So I'm going to try and edit myself as I sing this and kind of make it, you know, as if the guy was singing it, you know. So this could be interesting. We'll see what happens. But anyway, it's called Alabama. Free and wild as Talladega horses, pretty as the Auburn eagle when he flies, tender as the moonlight on the red clay, strong and wide open as the Tuscaloosa tide. Alabama, Alabama, how long has it been? I've had you on my heart, I need to see you again. It gets harder every time I have to leave you. Alabama,
soft eyes are bluer than the Gulf sky. And kisses cover me like Mobile rain. And every time I'm with you, it's like sweet home. Girl, I guess that's why I gave you that name. Alabama, Alabama, how long has it been? And I've had you on my heart, I need to see you again. It gets harder every time I have to leave you. Alabama. Girl, you're a part of me, no doubt. You're in my dreams at night when I lay down. Alabama, Alabama, how long has it been? I've had you on my heart, I need to see you again. It gets harder every time I have to leave you. You're like heaven, girl, you're everything to me. In Alabama, I miss you, Alabama.
Well, were you happy with the change? Because it sounds great.
I was happy with the change, you know.
All right.
We just got to find somebody to sing it because, you know,
So
I was editing myself through that, trying to make it
great.
from the guy, you know.
So what is that process like for you when you know you're writing a song that you're not intending to sing, that you want somebody else to sing? Like how do you mentally do that? That seems difficult to me.
Well, the reason we changed it is because Tom had a pretty good in with pretty popular artist right now.
Oh, okay.
And so it was kind of like, yeah, this would fit them pretty good. So.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of in design. So we kind of targeted them.
Right.
That's
right.
why we made the change.
See, that's why I can't be a songwriter, because well, I mean, it takes a lot of creativity and a lot of thought to be able to do that. I'm great at talking, but when I'm trying to think, you know, I want to write this song for this specific person or this type of, you know, sound, like I feel like everything I would do would be what I've already heard. And for me, I don't think I could do that. So I got to give you credit. I know songwriting can be difficult at times, and I know I could never do it. So I got to just thank you. And fans, I mean, fans all over the place, they don't really fully realize, a lot of them, what goes into a song and just how much thought and how much time it takes to get it out there for them to listen to. So thank you on behalf of everybody who's watching too. Thank you for everything that you do for the music community. I love it.
Well, thank you for listening. You know, without anybody to listen to it, it would be kind of pointless for us to do it, you know. Yeah. But like on a song like that, we had to make quite a few changes, but ultimately it's a love song, you know. And so that's the part that, you know, when you write about love, you know, everybody, good or bad, can relate to it.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yes.
Good or bad, you know, you can, you know,
yeah, you
can relate to it, I think.
Right.
So lyrically, that's one of the when we had to make the change, it was still a love song. Yeah. You know.
Now, are there any songs that you remember as a kid that you just thought was one of the funniest, greatest songs ever? Because I know we all have those. We all have that go-to song when we want to laugh that just makes us giggle, you know? Absolutely.
I remember, and I don't remember how I heard it. It was in the house I grew up in, my parents' house, and you know they had this huge stereo system, you know, as was popular kind of in the day, you know, the 8 tracks and all, and then you could play records on. They had a record player, had the 8 track, you know, all that stuff, you know. And I have no idea, because I don't think I'd ever seen this record ever in the collection, but somehow at some point, Roger Miller, Dang Me, made its way it made its way to the stereo and made its way out the speakers. And I was in the living room when it came on, and I don't remember how old I was. I wasn't very old, maybe I don't know, 6, 7. Yeah. And I just remember going, "What is that?" You know, dang me, you know. And then him going, boo, 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 you know, just all that goofy Roger Miller stuff that I love, you know, because he was so clever. And I couldn't write a song like that. I couldn't do that, you know.
Right,
But yeah, I just, you know, every now and then we do that live, or we'll just slip it in somewhere because
Yeah.
people love it. People, you know, and then they go, do another chug-a-lug, you know, or something. They loved it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just fun.
Well, it brings back memories for a lot of people. And and I think part of the reason why I'm talking about this specifically is because yesterday I found myself listening to Weird Al. Like, you know, I have Alexa music on my phone. Yeah. So we were in the car, I was taking people all around town, and I just put on Weird Al, and all the kids were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I am grooving right now. This is fun. Just smile and laugh, everybody. And I didn't take it off. I let it play through Amish Paradise and Eat It and every other parody song that man sang. But, you know, there's a time for that when you're in that mood and you just want to feel good. I mean, that's why I said I'm not genre specific. And I know that most artists have different, you know, influences that they just absolutely love and that they can pull from. So I had to talk about that because I wanted fans to get to know you a little bit better today. And unfortunately, you all got to know a little bit more about me too. But back to where fans can find you. I know you have a lot of festivals that you've done, performances that you've sold out. Where are you going to be next?
I will be. We're here finishing up the new project here this week, and then I'm heading to Vegas. Head to Vegas for 5 nights.
That doesn't suck.
What's the dates? It's like the 11th, February 11th through the 14th.
Okay.
I think.
So while we're at CRS, you're going to be in Vegas having a blast.
I'll be in Vegas. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Working.
Yep. No gambling involved at all? Nope.
No. No fun will be had.
No fun will be had. Nope.
None. And then I think I come back to Nashville, and I've got a few shows in Nashville through the end of February, and then I actually go back to Vegas in early March.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're turning around, going right back again for 8 nights.
Okay.
We're doing a club out there at the MGM Grand, and yeah, so it should be fun.
That. Oh, you're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Vegas was always in my backyard because I'm a California girl.
Uh-huh.
So once I moved here, I'm like, okay, I don't have Vegas anymore, but I'm pretty sure I can get to Atlantic City close enough. Like
I've played in Atlantic City. Yes,
it's another beautiful town. It's lots of lights, lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of good stuff. But I'm so glad for you. That is great to have that experience.
I didn't want to cut you off, but
No.
just you'd asked me earlier, one of my favorite places I've ever played. You mentioned Atlantic City. I actually got to go several years ago and play. There's a military base not too far from there, about an hour away. It's Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Okay.
And I got to go play for the troops.
Ooh.
That's one of the coolest experiences I've ever gotten to have playing music.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then we left and went to Atlantic City after that. You know.
But playing for the troops, was that not an emotional experience for
It was
you?
very emotional. Very emotional. Very emotional. I've got some family that have served or are serving,
Right.
And so you got to hear some. That's where you hear some crazy stories
Yes.
that really get you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not all sad either.
No.
Not all sad ones either. But yeah, you get to hear some pretty amazing stories from the men and women.
Right. Oh, well,
serving.
and if you're related to them, you get to have fun pictures sent to you all the time, right, Tyler? My nephew is serving in the Army right now. He just left us. He's no longer near me, and I don't get to see him as often as I'd like. But it takes a lot for families. It's not just the person in the military that's sacrificing, it's the families, it's their friends, not having their life with their person anymore and having to share them with everybody else. It's very, very, I don't know what the right word is to describe that, but for me, I just appreciate that. I appreciate the people who allow their loved ones to go and serve our country, because that is a huge job. And honestly, it's pretty thankless in my opinion. They don't get enough of what they deserve, especially when they come back. A lot of our veterans go without and end up homeless, and it's really, really sad. But so for those of you who are serving in the military or have friends or family who are, thank you so much, and tell them that we all thank them. And if there's anything we can ever do, shout outs, you all just let us know, because we love our military. And I'm sorry, I had to take that for a moment, because it's one of those things that I think is just so important. And is there anybody special that you have out there that you want to send any messages or anything to any fans that you want to share something with, that you want them to know about you that we didn't cover here? I don't mean to put you on the spot like with one specific person, but I mean, is there a message you want to get out there to everybody that we haven't gotten to discuss?
I really just want to say thank you, because I don't get to do what I do without, if nobody shows up, if nobody comes out to see us play, if nobody, buys the album, or downloads, or streams on Spotify and all that.
Right.
If nobody does that, then I don't get to do this. I can't make this work. I can do this in my living room, but that's about as far as I can take it. Right. And so really just very appreciative because, we're very fortunate. I try to always remember that I'm very lucky to get to do this. I think about that kid that wanted to play music, and I'm getting to do it, but I can't do it without people supporting us. So thank you.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I love it. Where can they find you on your website and social media?
The website will be up and running again soon. We're getting it overhauled here. But yes, ZachNeilMusic.com. If you're on Facebook.com/ZachNeilMusic. And I'm on Instagram at ZachNeilMusic.
All right.
So just Zach Neil Music.
Zach Neil Music, you guys. He made it easy for you so you can find him. Do you have any other songs you want to play before we go?
Sure.
Because I would love that.
Yes, I can do another one for you.
Okay.
This will be on the new project right here. So now I wrote this song, and this is kind of a little bit about the life that I get to live, traveling around as a musician. So it's called Maverick, and I hope you like it. I hope I can remember the words. It's a pretty fresh song here, So, anyway, it goes like this. Like an old West outlaw can't lay his guns down. I can't give up this guitar, I don't know how. I live like a drifter, that's who I am. You'll find me running straight to her when she says, Maverick, come back home and love all my lonely way. Won't be long till you go back to burning up that road, so hold me till you ride away. Got a restless feeling deep in my bones. I guess that's the reason I keep chasing these songs. All the places and faces and stages I play feeds my soul, but my heart needs her to say, oh, Maverick, come back home, love all my lonely way. Won't be long till you go back to burning up that road, so hold me till you ride away. She don't try to change this music man. Yes, she loves me for who I am. Maverick, and I'm coming home to love all your lonely away. Soon I'll have to go back to burning up that road, but I'll hold you till I ride away. Girl, one of these days I'll stay.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Angie, do we have any final questions or comments for Zach? Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. Before we go, I'm going to ask everybody to send up a prayer to Doug Supernaw, who just found out about a cancer diagnosis. Please, please, please lift him up in prayer. Send positive thoughts to his family, his friends. Anything you can do to let him know that you're thinking about him, that would be great. On behalf of everybody here, his family, we love him. We support him. We're here. Anything we can do, let us know. We will definitely be sending our prayers and keeping him in our thoughts. Doug Supernaw, you're awesome. We all love you here. Thank you, everybody, again for watching. Please make sure you go to ZachNeilMusic.com. You find him on social media at Facebook/ZachNeilMusic, Instagram/ZachNeilMusic. All right, you guys, you got it. Tune in next Monday. We have a lot of fun surprises for you. It's a Durango takeover. Until next time, we'll see you soon.